Let's try this here again. Delta special request. All right, so we are live, baby. Hello, my name is Greg. Welcome to the All About Aviation channel on this very cold Saturday night here in Maryland. Hope everybody is doing well. This is a special request going out for this here Delta 737-800 that we are going to fly tonight. Let's go ahead and jump in to this here shit. And, you know, what I always say, let's get going and let's get rolling, son. Yeah. All right, so we got Microsoft up. That be looking good. That be looking good, motherfucker. Oh, am I not full screen? Yeah, I'm full screen. All right, very good. All right, so let me go ahead and get the aeroplane up here. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I do these episodes as often as I can. Most of the time it's daily, but sometimes it's not. I do have a life outside this channel, which I have to pay attention to most of the time. But is my mouse not working? I might have to restart the simulator. Is my mouse not working? I kind of needs my mouse when I'm flying this here 737. All right, yeah, let me restart the sim. Let me restart the sim. Quit. Let me make sure there's no update. Now we look all right. All right, let's go ahead and get it going. I thought we were good, but I guess we were not. So again, this is a special flight. I had a subscriber. I think it was Elmer. I think it was Elmer. I have to go back and look at the chat from last night, but one of my regulars asked me to do a Delta flight with a 737. So I believe I have one of them with the PMDG 737 that I got. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. I am thirsty as a motherfucker tonight. Jesus. Did a lot of running around today. Feels good to be home, that's for sure. Feel good to be home. Yes, sir. It wasn't like fun stuff I did either. It was like grocery shopping and, you know, like boring adult shit, you know, because I do have to do boring adult stuff every once in a while. Every once in a while. All right, my mouse should be working now. At least I would like to think so. I was almost late to the stream tonight. Almost late, man. I didn't get home until like 7:30. I still had to find a flight that I wanted to do. I still had to plan the flight. I still had to get a thumbnail together. You know, I had to make sure everything was working. Like, yeah, man. We almost didn't make it on time tonight. This mouse better be working now. This is going to be very difficult to fly this plane tonight if the mouse isn't working. Yay, mouse is working now. Sweet. All right, that's not the airplane we're flying, by the way. That's not the airplane we fly. We flew that one last night. That was a fun flight, actually. All right, let's come up yonder to this here PMDG 737. And I'm pretty sure I have a Delta livery with this thing. American, Ryan. Yep, there we go, Delta. This is the only airplane I have liveries for, by the way. I deleted, or actually uninstalled, all the other liveries that I had because they were all third-party. These liveries are right from the developer PMDG of this airplane, so I'm confident that these will work properly. All right, let me go into options and let's turn on the ATC again because I turned it all off last night because they were a real pain in the ass last night. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. They just would not stop yapping. And I turn on all the stuff that I want, like this one here lets GigaChad do all the communicating for us. This one here is supposed to have the ATC enforce our flight plan, which very rarely does that work. ATC voices, so we can hear them. And let's click apply and save. And general options. I guess I'll turn on multiplayer tonight because I've had some people asking me about that, so let's turn that on. We got live weather, we got photogrammetry, and traffic is at a okay level. All right, very good. So that's all good. Let's come in here under World Mapski, and let's put in our flights information. Should be DAL 2180. So let's plug in DAL. Because this is a real flight that took place, I think it was yesterday. There's other real flights going on right now, but they were all like in the dark, and I didn't really want to fly in the dark. Because it's so dark, you can't really see anything. You really can't. It's really difficult. All right, tail number. What tail number are we getting? Yeah, we'll leave the OU 869 in there, and then we have call sign and 2380. All right, very good. Very good. All right, let's go to Atlanta. And this plane took off from, give me a second, let me get to FlightAware here and see what gates this thing took off from. All right, it took off from A5. So let me close out this screen here. So it took off from gate A5 around 9 o'clock in the morning. All right, very good. So let's scroll into Atlanta here. Set that as departure. Let's come in here. We'll leave live weather on, but let's put this for last month because of the AirX system is still screwed up. There's still not been an update. All right, A5. Yeah, there's A6. There's A4. A3, A5. Yay! Let me zoom in because one of these times I tried using the real gate and we actually crashed on the pushback because we were so close to a little building that oh yeah, we're okay. All right, very good. And we're supposed to be leaving on 27 right, which should be, I think this one, that's 26. So there's 27 right. Oh, I really hope we take off on this runway because there's a really cool Delta Air sign over here. And I never get to leave from this side. Oh, I hope that's the case tonight. All right, 27 right. Let's go ahead and set it for like 8:30 in the morning. And let's get going and let's get rolling. Yeah. Yeah. There's still no tablet available for this plane. Tablet came out for PC, I want to say like the end of October, I think, maybe. Somewhere in that area around the like the end of October area, tablet came out for PC users, but still not available yet for us here, Xbox users. Maybe PMDG will, get it at some point for us, but so far, nada. All right, here we are in lovely hot Atlanta. So tonight we're gonna have we're gonna connect the gateway, the jetway. We're gonna have the trucks come on out tonight, since we are at the home field of Delta Airlines. Atlanta is pretty much the major hub for this here plane. So I always use GigaChad side for setting up the airplane. So let's click and hold the menu button in. And let me see here. We got these 3 buttons here for MFD. That's good. We got the new display for that system. We have the heads-up display. So I'm thinking this plane should already be set up for everything that I like. So I don't really see a need to go through all the settings. So the only thing we need to do is just remove the stairs and get the gateway set up. So let's go ahead and remove those stairs first. All right, let's release them stairs. And then once they get backed up, we'll get the gateway connected, or jetway, or whatever the hell the thing is called. All right, that looks good. So let's go ahead and change this to jetway. And let's go back to the first screen and click this button here to connect the jetway, and then we need to open up the door. All right, there we go. Very good. It's getting ready to give our fuselage a little kiss. All right, that's all good shit right there. Let's go ahead and set this to a third. Actually, let's set it lower than that so we can actually have the fuel fill us up a little bit. So let's set that for 4,000. Let's come to payload and set this to empty. All right, sure. Let's go ahead and set our payload first. So we have 135 passengers tonight. So we're gonna come over here to ground services. We are going to click 135 here. And then we're gonna click start. Let's go ahead and get all these guys on the way here for the loaders. We have 3.4 kilograms in cargo, so we're going to do 1,000 up front and 2,400 in the rear. Once these 4 vehicles get set up, the start will turn green. And our fuel tonight is 6.9 kilograms, so let's type in 60. What's the actual number? Let me look at the official flight plan. It is 6896, so let's just type in 6900. All right, and let's request the fuel truck. Now this says 0 kilograms. Once we get the airplane started, that will change to the fuel that we have in our system right now. So let's go ahead and turn the battery on. Let's go ahead and turn the ground power on. And let's go ahead and put our collision lights on. And let's set the fasten seatbelt signs on. Let's go ahead and get this FMC rolling here. Let's go back to actions. All right, that's not ready yet. All right, we can start loading the front area. All right, let's go ahead and align the IRS so we can set our position. Let me pull up the position in our official flight plan as well. So we should be like north 33, 38 and like west, 8425, 08425. So first thing is I'm going to turn this dial to heading /STS. And we're going to come down here and turn this to nav. And then we're going to go to position initialization, pose in it. Let's go to the next page. Yep, that's what I said. Click on one of these lines, click previous page, and then click on this third over here. And that gets entered in, and now it should be lined up here momentarily. I have it on like a quick alignment, so it should only take a few seconds to do. All right, we're now loading all the cargo right now. Let's load the rest of our fuel. All right, all that is working on the outside there. So let's go ahead and bring our flight plan. I think we can bring it in on this plane here. Let's try it. I think we can do it. Let's see here, next page. I think if we go to route, flight plan request. I thought there was a way to bring it in. There might not be, but I thought there was. Performance, takeoff, nav, flight plan request. Yeah, maybe there's not. I could have sworn there was a way to bring it in. Oh, you know what? Never mind. I'm thinking of the A310. My bad, guys. All right, let's type in Atlanta. So KATL. While everybody is boarding the plane, while the fuel is going into the plane, while the bags are being loaded, we can set our flight plan for today. So KJFK. And then we have DAL 2380 for our flight plan. Yeah, it still doesn't work. All right, no problem. All right, let's go ahead and click on all right, let's set our departure. So let's go to the departure page. Let's click on departure. We are doing runway 27 right, hopefully. And we are leaving on the PHII here, and Hartwell is our transition. Very good. And let's go to route. Let's go next page here from Hartwell. We are going on airway Q46. I'm sorry, Q64. So let's type in Q64. Then we are going to SAWED. And we are going on Q97. Sounds like a radio station. Here on Q97. Let's see here. All right. Oh, it doesn't like Q97, huh? Well, ain't that about a bitch? Well, let me go to Navigraph here and see if there's, if it just doesn't, if it doesn't like Q97 itself, or if there's, all right, Q64, all right, Q97. Is there another name for this airway here? No, that's the name of the airway. All right, so from Solwed, how long were we on Q97 for? A pretty good amount of time. Shit. All right, I guess I'll just have to type in the, well, that really sucks. All right, I guess I'll just have to type in the actual waypoint. So, all right, the next waypoint is KALDA, KALDA. Let me try typing in Q97 now and seeing if it'll take. It probably won't, but yeah, that's what happens when you have the old AirAC system in here with new waypoints. So, all right, ZJ CJAAY. Thankfully, it's not a super long flight, so it's not like there's a whole lot to type in. All right, we got delay, DLAAY. Not in database. Interesting. Well, let's see. Is there DLAAY is not in the database. All right, can we type in maybe? All right, what do we have after DLAAY? We have RADS. All right, let's see if we can type in coordinate, KODNI. Let's try that one instead. I'm sorry, CODNI. Let's try that. All right, we like that one. Then we are going up to RADS, RADDS. Will you like it? You do like it. And then we have our transition to our airport. So let's activate this right now and click execute. Let's go back to departure arrival. Let's choose our arrival now. Now arriving tonight is this one here, Cameron 4. And we are going to be doing the RNAV-Z for 31 right. So RNAV-Z 31 right. Transition is Cameron. All right, very good. Now let me go back here and see if SIE showed up. It did. Okay, very good. So let's go to legs and scroll over, and let's click on SIE and then click on the line above us, and now our route is connected. I'm not inputting the altitude yet, because if I plug it in now, it's going to change again when I bring in the weights and all that. So all right, so the fuel truck is done. We can get rid of him. Everybody's on board, so we can get rid of the gateway. And this is all done, so we can say goodbye to these. All right, and let's go say goodbye to the jetway also. And let's close this door here. All right, very good. All right, and before I do anything else, let me get clearance for the runway that we're using tonight. And then we'll disconnect the APU and all that, and then get our weights and all that set up. So, all right, let's see here. Depart straight out.
Ground DL 2380 with Kilo request taxi for takeoff, departing straight out. DL 2380 taxi to and hold short of runway 27 right using taxiway. Contact tower on 119.5 when ready.
Excellent.
Ground DL 2380, say again please. DL 2380 taxi to and hold short of runway 27 right using taxiway. Contact tower on 119.5 when ready. Taxi to and hold short runway 27 right via
all right,
taxiway
we'll
DL 2380.
contact the ATIS in a little bit to get the correct METAR, the correct barometric pressure. First, let's go ahead and turn on this fuel pump here. And then let's turn on the APU. And let's turn on bleed. Now tonight we're going to be cruising at 37,000 feet, so let's plug in 37,000. And our landing altitude for the airport is a whopping 13 feet, so I'm just going to turn this one click to 50. and let's go ahead and check our flight plan real quick. So let's come over here. Let's turn this to map. I'm sorry, to plan. And let's click on legs. And we're just going to use this step right here on the side here to go through our flight plan. Make sure it all looks good. Looks good. Yep, we look good there. So let's go to legs again. The APU is starting up. It's almost, there we go. Let's turn on the APU generators. Let's go ahead and turn the yaw dampener on. Let's arm the emergency lights. Let's turn this up a little bit. And let's see here. I'm not disconnecting the ground power because it disconnects automatically in this plane when you turn the APU on. All right, let's do that. And let's turn up the main panel here. Let's turn this one down just a little bit. Let's turn on a little bit of background lights. And let's hook up GigaChat a little bit here. All right, let's bring in our weights and all that, and then we'll set up there. We do have a little bit more to set up with this flight plan before we can back up and all that. So let's go ahead and finish setting all this up here. So let me change this a little bit so that little point of interest thing is not in the way. All right, very good. So let's go down to one thing I want to do first before I do anything else is I'm going to click on the descent button, and I'm just going to type in the forecast for our descent tonight, because after that I can just set up the rest of the initialization, and then we're ready to back up and get rolling. So let's see here. So descent, we're going to use 31,000 feet. We're going to use 20,000 feet. And we're going to use 10,000 feet. All this information I'm getting from the official flight plan from SimBrief. It's in the wind information section. So we have 245 by, Jesus, is that correct? 154? Holy shit. Wow. That's one of the largest numbers I've ever seen in my life. 154 knots? That's like hurricane. All right, 251 and 126. Wow, we'll see how the plane does up there, man. We might have to turn off live weather. Jesus. 238 and 77. Okay, all that's done. Let's click execute. Let's go back to initialization reference, the init ref button. We're going to do performance initialization request. All right, now we can click load. Click execute. All right, because you see it has our cruising altitude at 39,000 feet. That's wrong. So let's set that first. Let's do FL 370. Execute. Let's go back to initialization. The cost index according to SimBrief is 5. Our fuel plan, we have to plug that in. That is actually 6.7. So let's plug that in. Using reserve fuel. No, reserves are 2.4. So let's type that in, 2.4. All right, Now we're not using reserve fuel. The cruise wind, according to SimBrief, is 246 by 136. All right, all this is good. Let's go to N1 limit. I usually do like 30 over that number, but it's kind of cold out, so I'm going to set this for 49. And we'll do takeoff 1, 24K D rate. Let's go to takeoff. And before I enter anything here, I'm going to go to next page, and I'm going to enter the runway slope and the runway wind. So the slope, according to SimBrief, is 0.33. And the runway wind is 260 and 3 knots. So let's type in 260 and 3. All right, and let's see here. Let's go back a page. This should calculate automatically for the center of gravity. Let's try flaps 5 and see what happens. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's try flaps 10 and see if there's any difference. Not really, just one knot, so we'll leave it at 5. And before we do that, let's check our QNH. So let's come up here, let's turn COM 2 to Atlanta ATIS.
Atlanta Airport information, Kilo 1300 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature tree. Dew point 10. QNH tree 0.06. ILS runway 26 left. ILS runway 27 right. ILS runway 27 left.
All right, 30.6. All right, very good. Let's turn that off. All right, 30.6. Let's come down here now. And let's click on V1, V2, VR. All right, all that is now set up. So we are pretty much good now for our departure. One thing I do want to do is flip this back to map. Turn this in a little bit. And I do want to click on data, because that gives us, on the waypoints, that gives us like any kind of constraints or information that we're going to need about it, like speed or altitude and all that. GigaChad side, we can turn to plan. Let's turn the VORs off. We don't need them. Let's flip him to data as well. Let's turn off our VORs. And let's turn on our flight director. All right, we are good to back up. So let's go ahead and tune to the ground. Let's see here, ground services. Request pushback.
Ground DAL 2380 requesting pushback.
DAL 2380 pushback. Request accepted.
I think it's going to be steered to the left, I think.
2380 requesting pushback to steer the aircraft to the left.
DAL 2380, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Let's release the parking brake. Oh, it was already released. All right, very good. And there's no fuel in our center tank, so we don't need the center ones on. Let's turn these on. Let's turn on the electric hydraulics. Let me make sure we're going to be pushed back. I always get confused with this, so before I start any engines, I just want to make sure that we're going to be pushed back correctly. Why aren't we moving? Parking brake's off. We should be moving. What is going on?
Route DAL 2380 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the right.
DAL 2380, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
I'm not sure why he's taking his sweet time, but let's get one of the engines at least fired up. So let's do ground. Let's wait for N2 to get up to around 15 or so. Yeah, looks good. Let's turn on some fuel. Alright, our V2 speed is... Oh, I know why. Shit, I'm an idiot. We don't need him. We have our own pushback. Damn it, I forgot. Let me put the brake on. Yeah, I'm an idiot. And we still have the chocks on, that's why. Alright, pushback. Let's remove the chocks. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Jesus Christ. Alright, there's our tug. And we want the nose to go, I think, to the left, I think.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for push and start, tail to the right.
Copy. We're going to push tail to the right. Parking brakes release, please.
No wonder it was taking so long. We still had the chocks in, and we were using the wrong tug. Alright, what is our V2 speed? .144, so let's set this for 15 over that, so let's do 159. And let me look at our departure for the night and see if we have any altitude constraints. No, I don't see any, so we're clear to really cruise as quickly as we can to get to our cruising altitude. Alright, we can, well, we'll let him end the pushback so he can say what he needs to say to us.
Pushback complete. Parking brake set.
Brake set.
Alright, let's get rid of that tug. Let's go here. Let's go to FMC. And we're going to have you, my guy, we're going to have you monitor the V speeds, because that's going to change possibly when we put our flaps down. We'll put you on legs. Let's get the second engine started up. Let's get this generator on. Let's get this one started up. Alright, very good. Let's add some fuel. Let's come down here and turn our transponder to TARA. That all looks good. Let's see here, before takeoff, flaps, stabilizer trim. Yeah, all that's fine. All right, that's all good. Let's turn on this generator. Let's change the isolation valve to auto. Put our packs on auto. Let's turn off the APU bleed. And shut off the APU. Let's put these on continuous. Let's put you on RTO. Let's set our flaps down to 5. Let's come up here and turn on our logo lights, our wheel well lights. Let's put on our taxi lights. And I believe it's pretty cold out. What's the outside temperature? Wasn't it like +3? Yeah, +3. Let's go ahead and put the anti-icing on as well. And let's reconfirm our V speeds. So it doesn't look like anything changed, so that's all good. So we have 140 and 144 still. Let's click on progress there. And let's go ahead and taxi. We are all ready to go. We'll put the heads-up display down when we get, lined up. And then we'll activate LNAV and VNAV as well. We'll double check the METAR as well before we take off. But other than that, we are ready to go. So let's release our parking brakes. And let's give it a little bit of juice. I love flying Delta airplanes. I love the livery. It's such a clean looking livery. Just, I don't know. I like the blue and the red and the shapes and all that. Guess I'm a Delta geek. Whoa. Sorry, I'm trying to do a couple of things. Not really paying attention to probably what I should be paying attention to. Alright, I got everything kind of situated now. Busy little desk here in front of me. Our traffic on. Yeah, there's that Delta sign I was talking about. Can't really see it from the other side. Well, actually, I don't think you can see it at all from the other side of the airport. Maybe for 2024, Microsoft can put real liveries on the planes that are just sitting here. I think that would be pretty cool if they could do that. You know, instead of saying, oh yeah, there's Green Airlines again. It's like Green Airlines is at the gate ready to start boarding its passengers. Good old Green Airlines. But that forklift is hauling ass. Look at that thing. I think it's a forklift. Yep. Alright, we are almost at our runway. Yep, there we go. Delta Jets. That's a real sign, really, at that airport when you're landing. It really does say fly Delta Jets. Cabin crew prepare cockpit. Cabin crew prepare cabin for takeoff. Now we got to hold short for a second just to get our clearance for takeoff. And we'll turn towards the runway and get this old bird up in the air. Yes, sir. Let's get our clearance.
Atlanta Tower DAL 2380 ready at runway 27 right departing straight out.
DAL 2380 wind calm departing straight out approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 27 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 27 right DAL 2380.
Alright, still 30.06, very good. Alright, let's go ahead and let's arm the auto throttle. Let's arm LNAV and VNAV. Let's go ahead and put our heads-up display down. Let's turn on the landing lights. And let's put on our strobe lights. And we are ready to roll. Let's release the parking brake. Let's give it a little bit of juice so we can get moving again. And we'll line up, we'll give it a little more throttle, then we'll activate toga. Alright, let's give it a little bit of juice. That's more juice than I clicked on, but that's alright. Let's click toga, which is that little screw right there. This little screw right here is toga.
80 knots. BT. Positive rate of climb.
Alright, gear up. Alright, we can engage autopilot since we're above 1,500 feet. We'll let the autopilot do its thing. Let's click on VNAV. Let's lock our gear. And let's turn off the auto brake. Let's put our flaps up a little bit.
Tower DAL 2380 frequency change. Atlanta 3,200 feet. Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace.
DAL 2380 Atlanta approach. Swap tree 577.
Alright, let's put our flaps all the way up.
77 DAL 2380.
DAL 2380 radar. Contact 4 miles west of Atlanta 3,600 feet. Clear through the Bravo airspace.
I like putting the autopilot on early because I like sitting outside and watching, I like looking at all the scenery and shit. I mean, that's one of my favorite things about this simulator is looking at all the scenery.
DAL 2380 contact Atlanta approach on 119.8. Good day.
119.8 DAL 2380. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Atlanta approach DAL 2380 6,800 feet.
DAL 2380 Atlanta approach QNH 30.08 radar contact continue.
Alright. We can do that. 308. Very good. Alright. After takeoff, engine bleeds on, packs are auto, landing gear up and off, and flaps up, no lights. Alright, very good. We can put you away now. Let's turn off the landing lights.
Generic November
Taxi lights.
3,200 feet.
Logo, wheel lights.
November tree 751, X-ray Atlanta. Approach QNH tree 0.09er radar contact.
Atlanta Center DAL 238010,700 feet.
DAL 2380 Atlanta Center QNH tree 0.10 radar contact. Continue.
At 116 miles to the top of our climb. That's alright with me. Just let the cabin crew know that they can start getting ready for their servicing. And probably put up the heads-up display. I don't usually leave it up while we're flying just because there's really no point to it. But I do use it for sure when we're landing, that's for sure. It comes in very handy when we're landing. Alright, what's our outside temperature? Yeah, we are in icing range.
Atlanta Center, generic November 2148 Golf flight level 280. Generic November 2148.
True air temperature is +6.
Continue.
You might as well leave on the icing equipment because it's just going to get colder as we get up in altitude. Alright, almost ready to put us in standard pressure once we get to 18,000 feet. Goodbye, hot Atlanta. Till we see each other again, baby. Alright, let's switch over to standard pressure. Alright, now we are pretty much all set for the remainder of our climb. Excuse me just for one brief moment.
Golf contact Atlanta Center on 120.45. Good day. Going to 120.45. Generic 48 Golf. DAL 2380, you are leaving my airspace radar service. Terminated squawk 1200. Frequency change approved.
Oh man.
Squawk 1200.
Oh boy.
Frequency change approved DAL 2380.
Wow.
1381 Zulu is cleared to Northeast Philadelphia Airport as filed.
Oh man.
9,000 feet.
Whew.
Departure frequency is 132.475.
I can't tell you how good that felt. Wow.
Clearance point 30 minutes from now.
Atlanta Center DAL 2380 is type going 737.6 miles southwest of Kilo Charlie Victor Charlie flight level 220. Request flight following.
Generic November 1381 Zulu cleared to Northeast Philadelphia Airport as filed. Climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure is 132.475 squawk 260.
Alright, so let's see what states we're flying over tonight. I mean, there's probably some obvious ones, but so it looks like Georgia for sure, South Carolina. Let's see here. Yeah, South Carolina. Let's see what this one is here. North Carolina. Yep, North Carolina. And then, yep, that's that. And then we have this Virginia here. Should be Virginia. No, that's still North Carolina. Yep, Virginia. Oh, no shit, we go right over Ocean City. Alright, so that's so Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, a little bit of Delaware, and then right past Atlantic City, and then we go out into the ocean and get ready for our, okay, that's pretty cool. Alright, so what waypoint are we getting ready to pull up on now? Over.
Generic 86 Papa contact Atlanta approach on 132.475. Good day.
Alright, Lagger, we're still in our standard instrument departure right now. Once we get to Hartwell, HRTWL, that's the end of our, that's the end of our standard instrument departure. I had to get a new one of these mods a couple of days ago. I really liked the other one that I had. The one was from GeekBait, the one I had before. The one from GeekBait, the bottom part here is where you input you change the battery and all that. I use reusable rechargeable batteries. Well, anyways, it fell the other day. I knocked it off my desk by accident, and it fell in the most perfectly horrible way. It fell, and the bottom part that you unscrew to get the battery, it fell like on the corner of that, and it dented it in to a point to where I couldn't turn the thing anymore to get the battery out. Man, we tried everything. I tried a few things, and then I took it to the vape shop near my house that I go to for all my vaping stuff, and they couldn't help either. Man, I was so upset. They didn't sell that one anymore. They had this kind of like knockoff cheaper one, which I have now, and it's doing the job. It's a little bit bigger and a little heavier than the one I had before, but it's doing the job. Once I start my new job here in the next few days and start making some money, I'll upgrade again to, possibly, I'll possibly upgrade. I don't know if I am or not. This one might suffice and get the job done. I mean, I don't need it to do a lot. I just need it to work. Like, I push the button in and I suck up the poison, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. Alright, let me sync our heading here. So we're on 84. Not anymore. What did we change it to? Changed it to 64. This is probably, like, for me at least, this is probably the easiest plane to fly in the simulator, I think. It's certainly the one I've been flying the longest. Because when I first started doing simulators, I started off in X-Plane many moons ago when I was a younger boy. I started off in X-Plane, and I was always flying that 737 because it was like the only it was like the only jumbo jet that was available free. Plus it had like all the stuff you could operate inside the airplane where a lot of the other airplanes didn't. And it had like Delta livery, like Delta's awesome. It had American Airlines, it had Southwest, I think. Then it had like I think Virgin Atlantic, I think. And it had a few other liveries with it, but yeah. So I've been flying a 737 the longest out of all the planes. But this plane, particularly from PMDG, is just, they did such a good job putting this plane together. I'm really hoping when this 777 comes out that their attention to detail with these planes carries over into that 777. Because if it does, man, that 777 is going to be a showstopper. Let me tell you. Especially, with the cockpit of those 777s now, it's almost identical to a Dreamliner. Almost, I think, like, it's almost one for one, like a Dreamliner on the inside. What does that mean if your palm itches? Doesn't that mean, like, somebody's talking about you or something like that? My palm was itchy. Alright, I probably could turn off, I haven't checked our temperature in a little bit. We're probably good to turn off the icing equipment, actually. Oh yeah, good. Let's turn that shit off. There, the wing's already off. Alright, yeah, let's turn that off now. And let's put the seats on auto. Actually, I'll turn them off for now. And everything is looking good, as Pharaoh said in Aliens. He says, we're in the pipe. 5 by 5. I still have no clue what 5 by 5 means, but that's what Pharaoh said, so it must be a good thing, right? Alright, so here's Hartwell. That's the transition from our standard instrument departure to our actual route. And that is Greenwood, South Carolina, according to Navigraph. We went to this little restaurant in my neighborhood tonight. Man, we haven't been there in a few months. My mom came down. We all went out. Man, they got some of the best. It's like home cooking. With the way that they cook up their food, man. It's like diner food, but on steroids, mixed with a little bit of home cooking. Oh my god, man! I had this thing called this certain soup they have. Man, it's got these huge meatballs in it. This pasta, all of these vegetables. It's like a minestrone soup, but like an enhanced version of minestrone soup. And I had this half a turkey sandwich, man, and it's that fresh turkey, right? When you have like that Thanksgiving turkey and you cut them little slices off. I had it toasted on some rye bread with some lettuce, mayo, and onion, coleslaw, and some chips. Oh my god. I was in heaven for about 4 minutes. the 4 or 5 minutes it took me to inhale that half a sandwich. Couldn't help myself, man. It was so good that I just couldn't put it down. Plus, it was like the first thing I ate all day, but it was so good. Yep. I wish we would go to that restaurant more often, but I try to watch our spending as much as possible since I don't have a job. Well, I haven't had a job. I have a new one that's starting next week, but there's no salary. It's all commission. So unless I start producing quickly, things are not going to turn around quick enough for my liking. That's a cool river, man. It's a couple thunderbolts. I've been playing We Happy Few for the last couple of days. That's actually a pretty fun game. I know it's been out for a while, but it just came to the Xbox Game Pass, and yeah, that game's pretty fun, man. Let me tell you, I have, like I said, I've seen some gameplay of it over the years. I just never really paid it much mind because it wasn't something that I was able to play. I didn't want to pay for it, and it was never on PlayStation's system for gaming, for like their version of Game Pass. So yeah, man, that was a pretty fun game, man. I'm only like the first like 40 minutes into the game. Like I just got out of like the tutorial like safe areas, and like I'm actually like doing real missions now, and I had to find these medals for this old guy so I could get a key card to get to the train station. But like the crafting is cool. The story so far is pretty interesting. I like how everybody's taking these joy pills to stay happy and stay oblivious to what's around them. Like that's some great reset, like Bilderberg group type shit. World Economic Forum, Bilderberg. Alright, we are almost at our cruising altitude. There's not much we have to do. Just sit back and enjoy the flight, really. Yeah, let's go ahead and increase our range. And so we got about 391 miles to the top of our descent. So I'll leave it in regular mode for a little bit. We'll speed it up a little bit as we go along. This one does 8 times speed. So we really do move along pretty quickly with this plane when we do start speeding it up. And let's see here. Daryl is, I think that's still South Carolina. Yep. That's still South Carolina, near Rock Hill, kind of on the outskirts of Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to be flying against the southeast portion of Charlotte once we get to our next waypoint and we make that little bit of a turn. we'll give it a few more minutes, and then we'll probably speed up just for a little while for 8x speed. The only thing with speeding up in this airplane is that we have to stay in a certain camera position in the cockpit. Otherwise, the 8x doesn't work too well, so it becomes a little boring because we're just looking at gauges. But yeah, we'll go ahead and switch that over there momentarily. But yeah, I want to say it was either I think it was Elmer or Kobe. It might have been Kobe. I have a viewer, Kobe, who checks out a lot of my videos. When he found me again, but actually they both did, because I changed the name of my channel, so it took a little bit for everybody to find me again, just because it was a different picture, different name. But you know, when I had my initial name, that Greg K, you know, it's my name. Initially, that was okay, you know, but that was before I started doing a lot of the flight simulator and stuff like that. So it really, I don't know, I wanted to change it to something, change the name something to more of what I've been doing on the channel, and so that's why I chose the All About Aviation with my birth date afterwards, because All About Aviation stopped. That was taken, All About Aviation, so I had to put something after that. Alright, let's go back in the cabin here and let's speed up a little bit. So let's go ahead. Now, one nice thing I do like about this particular plane, actually, let me do something first. Let me change this to progress and put this one on legs. That way, while we're sped up, I can keep an eye on how many miles, you know, till our descent. But yeah, one nice thing about this plane with the speed increase is that when we get to a waypoint, or about 5 miles outside of a waypoint, the plane slows down automatically. And then after we make the turn, or after we pass the waypoint and make the turn, like whenever those things are complete, we go ahead and then it speeds back up again. So let's go ahead and click here. It turns green. We'll go to 8x just for a little bit. Yo, what's up, Inbound Aviation? What's good, my dude? Yeah, you can see how quick the mileage is ticking down. But if I was to take us outside the airplane or start moving around the cockpit, this slows down tremendously. The simulator, at least on this Series S that I'm playing it on, it has trouble rendering everything so quickly. So I have to kind of stay in this position. So we'll stay here for, you know, a few minutes. Maybe we'll stay in it until we get to our next waypoint and then turn it off for a little bit, because we're going to start speeding up again here. There we go. Now we're in overdrive. Yeah, I'm going to turn it off when we get closer to our next waypoint, because it's gonna stop, and then for like a couple miles it's in regular speed, then it'll speed up again and then slow down at the next waypoint. So might as well just, well, I'll wait till we slow down and then I'll turn it off. But I have to use a mouse with this, otherwise the controller for some reason won't operate the speed increase on this plane, so I have to use a mouse for it. Alright, slow down. Let's turn off the speed increase. Yeah, because we got a couple of waypoints coming up there. We got 221 until beginning of our descent. Once we start our descent, we'll program. So we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to set up the heads-up display for our landing. We're going to input the runway height, the runway length. We're going to change the mode. And then I believe there's a VOR station at JFK Airport. So if there is, I'm going to plug it into here, because that way we can, for this RNAV landing, we can use a glide path and a final approach course instead of a localizer and a glide scope. So if you plug in a VOR station and you do approach, instead of it saying LOC for localizer here, it'll say FAC for final approach course. And then on the altitude part here, instead of it saying G, /S for glide scope, it'll say G/P for glide path, which is essentially the same thing. It's just not as, I don't think it's as accurate, I guess. I don't know exactly the difference, but I know that glide path is not as accurate as an ILS, but it's pretty damn close. Alright, no problem. My GigaChat will take care of it. See? I told you, lady, GigaChat will take care of it. He's my bitch on this flight. He does everything I ask him to. Jesus Christ, man. That's a long-ass flight, my dude. Did you wind up going to sleep? Did you do your thing where you went to sleep and then you woke up right before the descent? Yo, that's pretty good, man. -140 and -224, man. You are definitely buttering those landings. That's for sure. Yeah, man, that's really good. -140 is crazy good. I know my son was trying to do that for a while. Well, thanks, Inbound. I appreciate it. I'll sub back to you when I'm done this flight. I'll get into the chat and I'll sub back afterwards. Appreciate it. Yeah, my son for a while, when he was playing the RFS simulator, he was trying to butter those landings, and I think he got to -200. But yeah, man, that's awesome. I'm waiting for PMDG to come out with their 777 for this simulator, man. That's gonna be nice when they come out with that. That's who makes this plane that we're flying now, PMDG. They do a very good job. Okay, I got you. I'll type in Inbound Aviation and sub to you. Yeah, that's true. You're barely on time. Yeah, I hope so. Well, the developer for this plane here, PMDG, I mean, they do exceptional work. So hopefully that'll carry over to the 777, because I mean that's an awesome plane. So hopefully they'll do it right. Yeah, you probably would have been mad as hell if you would have woke up like half an hour later than you did this morning, and you were already close to the ground, and that would have been bad, man. That's cool though that you put it on autopilot and just let it be, and then you go to sleep and wake up, and it's almost like you're a real pilot, and you're just laying under the in the bottom of the airplane sleeping. Phoenix 2. Yeah, man. Go Phoenix. I'm just I use the Xbox Series S with a mouse and a controller. Nothing too special. Not yet, at least. I mean, if this channel grows and I wind up, doing this on more of a full-time basis, then I'll you know, I'll sink some money into it. But right now, it's just a Xbox controller and a mouse and a laptop. Yeah, I wish I had like Thrustmaster yokes and you know that kind of stuff. But I just, you know, I don't have the money right now. I'm kind of getting ready to start a new job. Plus, I have a hard time justifying putting money into something when it's really a hobby like this. So, you know, if it turns out that I can start making some money though, you know, doing this, then I'll sink money back into it. Yeah, no, it's pretty easy to fly with. I mean, it's not bad with the controller. It's a little touchy sometimes using just your thumb to control the plane, but for the most part, the controller works really easy once you get used to the buttons and all that. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, I'll have to maybe if you got that up on your channel, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, Thrustmaster makes some good shit, that's for sure.
DAL 2380, contact Washington Center on 123.85.
Oh, I didn't know. So Braden, so you're are you flying like with VATSIM where you actually have like where you're talking to like ATC? That's pretty cool if you're doing that.
Washington Center DAL 2380 flight level 370.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll check that video out tonight, man. After I check out your channel. After I sub, I'll get in there and check it out. Yeah, if you're using VATSIM, Braden, then yeah, that would suck if you know if you wake up too late because if you're dealing with ATC people, then yeah, you got to make sure you're up so you can talk to them. I wish you could. I wish VATSIM was available on Xbox here. That would be nice if you could actually like do multiplayer and you know be able to talk to ATC and all that. That would be pretty cool. All right, what do we got here? I'm gonna speed up a little bit after this next waypoint here, just a touch. Pretty soon we're going to be flying over Ocean City, Maryland, and I want to see what it looks like from 37,000 feet. All right, let's go ahead and let me go down to my little cubby hole for speed increase. I'll just leave it in here for a few minutes after we make this turn. Once we get past this waypoint, once we get about a mile or so past this waypoint, we should start really clicking. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. Well, a lot of the like the options that are available for PC that you have to download to use, a lot of times those aren't available on Xbox. Like it doesn't allow you to download the software for it. I might be wrong about VATSIM on Xbox. I don't think I've tried to use it yet. I have to look into it. I haven't done too much with multiplayer, to be honest, so I don't know for sure. But but I mean, if it does work, that would be pretty cool. I'll have to look into it. I haven't really connected with too many people to do multiplayer with yet on here, so I haven't really looked into it. But yeah, man, if I can do multiplayer on here and VATSIM's available, that would be awesome. All right, let me slow down here. All right, let's switch sides here. Let's put this back on legs. And let's put this on progress. We are going to change the RNP, the required navigation performance. We are going to change that when we get closer to our landing. We're going to put that on 0.3, I believe. And let me see if there is a VOR station here tonight. I believe there is. Let's go to VFR. Oh yeah, well, it's kind of sort of there. It's not really at the airport. It's a little bit outside the airport, so I don't know if it's going to work. Oh, never mind. It's right in the middle of the airport. Yeah, that should work, actually. 115.9. All right, so our first altitude is going to be 33.4. So let's plug that in. Let's click altitude hold. And let's plug in 33.4. And let's move spin a little bit. And then during our descent, we'll program in. I guess we can program it now, actually. Let's program our heads-up display for our landing tonight. So let me click on the runway information on Navigraph here. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to click on mode. That's going to put the heads-up display in like a landing mode. I'll show you momentarily what it looks like. But let's input the elevation of the runway. It's 13 feet, so let's do 13 and then enter. And let's plug in the length. It's 10,000 feet. Doing this will pretty much put the reticle directly on the touchdown zone. So if you remember what the heads-up display looked like when we took off, now it looks like this. So it gets rid of all the junk on the sides. It just has the reticle and all the info you need to, do your landing. So it makes it very clean looking. I'm not really sure what the IMC means. I think it has to do with an ILS landing, to be honest. It's been a long time since I looked it up. I think the VMC is for visual, but either way, that's the mode that I like to use. So let me put the heads-up display back up. And we got our top of descent coming up soon, so let's activate VNAV again. And once there's going to be two indicators that pull up, one on our primary flight display on the right, and then one on the right side of this multifunction display here. It's going to be like our vertical deviation. I also like to pull it up on this menu too, but let's set up our approach first. So let's do 136 plus 5 knots for wind correction. If we need it, depending on the wind, we might do plus 10 if we need to. All right, let's go back to progress and let's go to page 4. So page 4 here has the vertical deviation. Underneath this here, it'll start showing us how high and how low we are from where we should be. RNP is the required navigation performance. And we should be beginning our descent here momentarily. Wow, look at the wind speed, 160. Jesus.
Generic 05 Juliet climb and maintain 5,000 feet.
All right, 244 is our speed. 244. Wow, that is crazy amount of wind. All right, our vertical deviation should be showing up. Our deviators should be showing up here any minute. once we begin our descent, I'm going to program in the VOR station and the course for this landing tonight as well. Yep, there we go. They just showed up. Slowing down. Here's the one vertical deviator indicator. Here's the other one here. And this little bar here is showing that's where the airplane thinks we're going to be at our 33,000 foot altitude, but let's put this down to 29.7. And we're going to keep on reducing this incrementally so we can see it show up on our display here to make sure we're on point with. Alright, let's see here. So for
127.7 DAL2
should be at 314 for our course tonight.
Washington Center DAL2 380 flight level
So we got
355.
314 there. 314. And then we do have 115.9, so let's put that in here. And let's put it on GigaChad side. Or GigaChad Copilot. Alright, so we're pretty much as ready as we can be for this landing, as far as programming in everything that we can program. Alright, let's put this down to 24.1. And let me pull up the arrival chart in Navigraph. Make sure there's no altitude constraints. Well, we do have a hard 18,000 feet at Hog. For lowest usable flight altitude. Okay, that's fine. And Cameron, we need to be at 11,000 feet. Let's see what it says here for Cameron. Okay, that's fine. Alright, yeah, that works. So, looking good. And actually, let me change our RNP to 0.3. So let's go 0, I'm sorry, let's do 0.3. Click this button here in the bottom left. So we're well within the range because we're only at 0.06 right now, and we, 0.3 is our threshold. I do want to change GigaChad over here. I'm going to change his back to map. And then I'm going to click this CTR button twice. And that'll give us a descent, a descent display there. So it has the RNP, it has the ANP, the mode that we're in, our angle, and then as we get closer to a waypoint, the waypoint will start showing up here. Kind of like what you see in the Airbuses, like the A380 and things like that. Same type of display. Right, here's RADS. And RADS, we need to be at 29.7. We're going to be there. So let's go down to 19.4 now. And we're just, every time we get to a waypoint, we're just going to move our altitude down to the next waypoint after. So like we have RADS is 29.7. We just changed it from SIEs to this one here. Then when we get to SIE, I'm going to change it to hogs, and then so on and so forth. That way, we should continue to get this green arc that shows up here. So if I zoom out of the map a little bit, it should put it on our, there we go. So right now, our navigation system is thinking, and around this area is where we're going to be at 19.4, which is right before Boaton. Every once in a while, we're going to have to input some speed brakes if we start getting too out of hand. But everything kind of looks okay right now. Hopefully this wind will die down. I mean, it's saying we're at 169 knots. That can't be right. That is crazy. Oh, we already missed Ocean City. Shit. Yep, we missed Ocean City. Oh well. No big deal. I've flown over it plenty of times. But we are pulling up on Delaware. This is Delaware. We're actually over Delaware right now. And that's the coast of New Jersey. SIE is Sea Isle, and then we're gonna go past pretty close to Atlantic City as well on this trip. Yeah, see, boating we're gonna be over a little bit. Alright, hogs is 16.9. I'm not too worried about being at these altitudes. Like at the exact spot, we have plenty of time to get down to the altitudes we need to be at. And none of these are like hard altitudes that we need to be at. Let me look up the METAR information for... Actually, let's see here. Let me see if the ATC has it available. $29.72. All right. Let's come here. Let's click on METAR. It doesn't have our airport here yet. No worries. I got it here in Navigraph just in case we don't get it from the ATC. Guess I should turn on the seatbelts again, right? And what is our outside temperature? -17, so no reason for any icing equipment just yet. Alright, let's go down to 13,000. And let's lower our altitude here. This should be a pretty easy landing tonight. I mean, I say that now, I'm probably going to jinx myself, but it should be pretty straightforward. I mean, we have... Oh, there's Ocean City. What the fuck? Am I looking at the wrong... Oh, yeah, that's right. That's not Ocean City down there. That's Cape Charles. That's right. Now we're getting ready to pass Ocean City. Okay, there we go. There's Ocean City. Figure I'd know it as many times as I've been there, but I don't usually fly over to 37,000 feet. Well, I had many a good times in Ocean City, man, when I was growing up. High school years, before high school, after high school. Yeah, man, a lot of things that make for very good stories. A lot of things. Had a lot of very good memories in Ocean City. It's a huge party spot, man. When I was in high school and after well, even before high school, like when my cousins used to go to. Man, so many hotel parties and parties on the beach. Yeah, a lot of good times. Good times, yeah. Alright, we are speeding a little bit, so let me pull up some speed brake here. Just for a little bit. Alright, Cameron should be 10.5. Let's plug that in. And the ATC is still saying 2964 is what the barometric pressure is saying for New York right now. Those look like a couple of slowdown spots right here. These little green circles. Those are probably descent markers. I'm sorry, slowdown markers. That's usually what those little green circles mean on this display here. Oh, you know what? That might have been Ocean City, New Jersey. Yeah, that's Ocean City, New Jersey. Okay, because here's Atlantic City. All right, so I was correct the first time. Man, sometimes I am an idiot. Just putting it out there. I haven't said that on this channel in a while. I used to go. Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out if you go live. Absolutely. Sure, man. I got you. I don't know what time zone you're in, but yeah, if I'm awake, I will check out your channel for sure. I'm on East Coast time in America. I'm not sure what time zone you're in to go live with, but yeah, man, I'll do my best to check it out for sure. Absolutely. Alright, I'm gonna go here and delete that 3000 there, and I'm gonna see what it says. Let's click delete, and let's click on this. And that's interesting. It's saying we're gonna be at 5,000 feet. That is probably not a good thing. What waypoint is that? Video? Yeah, video we need to be at about 3,000 feet, so that is not good. Let's do 220. And 3,000. And if I have to take us out of VNAV mode, I will. Yo, what's up, Elmer? I'm doing pretty good, my man. Just sitting here flying a plane, flying a lot of ones and zeros. Drag required after KATL, no problem. All right, let's execute that. All right, very good. So Cameron is now 8,400, so we are way off. All right, we are going to have to go and probably do a circle because our VNAV system did not do a very good job for us tonight. So first things first, let's switch our barometric pressure. And let's put in what I see here, which is 2964. And let me zoom in a little bit here. Now, do I see any places where I can... Okay, so actually when we get to Cameron, we can actually do a holding pattern at Cameron. So we'll stay in VNav until we get to Cameron. And then we'll do a holding pattern over Cameron until we get to... well, you know what? Maybe we'll be at a good altitude. Let me change this into VS mode. Alright, let's do speed intervention first. Let's turn this down to 240. Let's put this in VS mode. And let's put ourselves at like 1600 right now, just to try to get closer to where we need to be at. Yeah, Elmer, I'm doing pretty good, my dude. I just, you know, sometimes these airplanes... Yep, yeah, the Delta 737. I decided to fly from Atlanta, like the birthplace of Delta, to JFK, so we're going to be pulling up in New York here momentarily. Yep, that's the special request that I did. I forgot who exactly, you know, like not who, but I forgot if you wanted to see like a certain airport or not, but I knew you wanted the Delta 737, so that's what we're in. Yeah, it's probably my favorite livery as well. I've always liked Delta, the way their livery looked. Their old ones, their new ones. Alright, so at cars, that's 10,000. So we're about 3,000 feet too high. So we might get the video correct, but yeah, KATL. Alright, so Cameron, it's a 41 degree outer course and 221 outbound course. So let's come over here to chronograph. Oh, we can stop that for now. Let's reset it. Okay. Alright, and then when we get to Cameron, we're going to do... Well, you know, we actually might be okay. Maybe not. We're probably going to have to do one loop of a holding pattern, to be honest. Gotcha. Yeah, American Airlines is a pretty good looking plane, too. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go down to 1200. Let's put this on 41. And let's go into heading mode. Oh yeah, we need to turn this down a bit more. Let's put this down to 3,000. And let's zoom in a little bit. Alright, so when we get to Cameron, we're going to turn to the left on a course of 221. And then after we make that turn, we're going to click on the chronograph button and fly that for a minute. Well, you can see how far our course is because of the wind. Because of the wind pushing us, it's pushing the pilot side of the plane. So we have to stay at a 50-degree track here just to stay at a course of 41 degrees. That's crazy. Alright, our altimeter is now 2968. So let's change that to 2968. That was just updated in Navigraph a few minutes ago. Yeah, American Airlines, they have a lot of good-looking planes. That silver livery they had for many years was really cool looking. The one they have out now is really nice. All right, so let's turn to 221. And once we get our wings level, we're then going to click on the chronograph button to start a timer for 1 minute. Yeah, if you go to, like, if you have a Navigraph account, you can always go to JFK's charts and look at this. Or if you go to SkyVector, let me type it in here, www.skyvector.com. You can look up this chart here for its KJFK, and it is the CAMRN for arrival, otherwise known as SIE.Cameron4. And you'll see this holding pattern in there. Now, I don't know if this is a true holding pattern or a holding pattern to get into this arrival, but either way, we're going to use it as a holding pattern tonight just to lower our altitude a bit more. And we can actually slow up a little bit with our descent. And actually, let's hold at 5,000 feet. All right, so we're about ready to level our wings. Level our wings of redemption. All right, let's click chronograph and let's fly this for a minute. And after that minute's up, we'll turn back to towards our course, re-engage LNAV once we get lined up with our course again, and then we should be good here on out to pretty much letting the autopilot land this plane. All right, we're almost at a minute. We need to make a left-hand turn to 41 again. Let's wait for this to get up to the 60, and then we'll start turning. All right, very good. Let's go to 41 on our heading here. And we can turn off the chronograph. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can recapture. Very good. All right, now we're doing okay. There was no way we were going to get down in time with the way that this VNAV system was calculating things. They had us descend too early, and our flight management system didn't have the correct info in because it has old data that it's using. It's not using the most current data available for arrivals and all that shit. All right, altitude acquired. Very good. Let's turn our heading a little bit more inward so we can capture our flight path sooner than later. And then video is that next waypoint there. That's actually the, I want to say that's the initial air fix for our landing tonight. That one we do need to be at 3,000 feet. We have a decent amount of time to get there. All right, and we should be at, so that's really close to our landing. So let's actually tune this down to 220. And we're going to engage my voice cracked again tonight. Jesus Christ. I'm going to put some flaps down here momentarily. Once we get lined up again, I'm going to put some flaps in when we get a little closer to video. And actually, let me program a fix for tonight. Let's do fix. Let's do runway 31 right. And we're going to do 5 miles for the landing gear, just as a reminder, and 10 miles for flaps 15, just as a reminder. We'll probably be there before, but... Alright, so we're at 220. We're almost lined up on our flight path again. Let's tune in a little bit more towards here, and then once we get closer to that magenta line, we'll start swinging back the other way and engage LNAV. Alright, LNAV is activated again. And let me see what VNAV does now. Alright, so we're 300 feet too low. Oh, a few thousand feet too low. Alright, well, we'll balance that out here shortly, so. Alright, let's stay in VNAV mode because we're going to need that for our landing. And once we make our turn from video to KATL, which is the like the initial fix, once we make that turn, we should be able to activate approach mode, and that should give us our glide path and the glide path and the what the hell is it called? The final approach course. And it looks like our decision height tonight is 446, so let's program that in. Let's put in 446. Alright, let's put on our landing lights and our logo light and our wheel well light. And let's drop our flight altitude down a bit. Yeah, see, that I don't like about that VNAV. Put us all the way, yeah, let me put the flaps back up again. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do speed intervention. Whoa, bitch. That's not what I wanted. Jesus Christ. Let's do 220. Alright, so we should be okay. Hopefully. Alright, so once we get the video, we have 9 miles until our final turn. We We are descending right now, so let me put another set of flaps in the equation to help keep our speed down. Let's put on auto brakes. And there are, so we have wind gusts, wow, 33 knot wind gusts. The maximum we can do, I believe, is plus 10 for our wind correction. So let's put in, let's do plus 10. Invalid entry, oh yeah, that's right, it's just 10. Alright, so looks like we can go up to like 145 if we need to. Let's program in 1900 because that is our final approach altitude. And let's go to 210. Now we should level off at 3,000 feet. Even though I put in a different altitude, we should level off at 3,000 because that's what the VNAV is in the flight plan. Yep. Alright, I'm actually going to click, I'll wait till we get closer to click approach. This landing is quite a bit different than an ILS landing with, you know, what we need to do. It's similar in some ways, but it's a bit different in some other ways as well. And we have 2968 still. Alright, that's good. 7 miles till KATL. And then we have about 10 miles, so actually let's slow down a little bit more. So let's put in 195. Let's go flaps 5. And are these, oh, we gotta arm the alright, now they're armed. And once we begin our turn, I'm gonna go ahead and click on approach mode. So that is coming up here momentarily. Actually, let me click on approach mode now. Okay, very good. So you can see it now says FAC for final approach course and glide path. So here's our glide path icon here. It's very similar to a glide scope icon, but since there's a VOR station, we can use that as our, you know, we can use that to land a plane pretty much. Alright, let's put down our landing gear. Let's tune this down to about 165, I guess. Alright, the final approach course is in play, and our glide path should pick up here momentarily.
2500.
Alright, and we got 135 plus 10. Yeah, because the wind's at 36 knots. Yeah, let's put in 145 as our final tonight. Alright, we're at flaps 15 right now. Let's go down another set. And the glide path is moving. So we should be capturing that glide path momentarily. Actually, we'll leave us at flaps 30 tonight on the flaps 30 for our landing tonight. But yeah, this should capture here momentarily. Once it captures, we'll go back outside. Alright, V path. That's fine. And glide path should be capturing. You can see our landing is up here. RNAV Z 31 right. 314 is the course. There we go, glide path is in play, so we are pretty much all set for our landing. We're not going flaps full tonight. We're going to leave it one set above, one notch above full flaps. Since we're not at our regular approach speed, there's no reason to go full flaps when we're not at full flap speed. Let's actually bring up this thing. And this reticle should be dead set on the touchdown zone since we programmed the heads-up display. I can turn off Navigraph now. Excuse me, golf course. I'm going to try to let this plane land itself as close as it'll get to landing itself so we can hang outside and look at the airplane landing. I would do more landings myself in this simulator if there was a good like rewind feature where I could actually like look at this in instant replay, but there's no, at least on the Series S, there's no like instant replay or replay feature available. Oh, it looked like that place was flooded. Yep. It's pretty wild. Don't know if this thing is gonna actually land itself or not. I think it will, but I'm hovering over the autopilot disengage. Oh, there we go. It doesn't land itself. That's alright, it came close enough.
30, 20, 10.
Golly, that wind's blowing us off the runway. Yeah, it sure did let go at 100 feet, that's for sure.
Kennedy ground DAL 2380.
Yeah, I thought it was going to get a little bit closer, but yeah, I guess that makes sense for an RNAV landing that it lets go at 100 feet.
Taxiing to gate Alpha 26 via taxiway Victor Bravo Tango Bravo Alpha Whiskey DL
Right,
2380.
let's disengage those. And let's see if we can get one of those air marshals. Yeah, it would be good if it landed itself. I thought it would, but you know, I could have sworn it landed before in RNAV, but I could be wrong. I don't do that kind of landing too often with this airplane, so I very well could be wrong with that. Yo, why you got me going all the way down, man? How about I make my own path? How about no? How about I go this way? Alright, let's move here. I've been having an issue lately with in this simulator with takeoff and landings with the plane just going really hard to one side, and I'm not sure if my controller needs to be like updated or what the case is, but it doesn't cause too many issues, but yeah, it's weird. I don't know, like sometimes it'll just go right off to the right when I'm taking off, and in any plane it doesn't make a difference like what plane, and like no matter what I do, it's like almost impossible to keep it centered up. Like tonight, as soon as I landed, it went right to the. And tonight could have been from the wind, possibly, because I mean, the wind was like almost 40 knots when we were landing. Now I know I didn't turn on any like taxi lights or any of that stuff, but probably should have, to try to keep it as simulator, as close to a real simulation as possible. But we're out here now. Oh yeah, I think I see our buddy. Yep. You can already see him telling him let's go over to the side there. Oh, that guy's gonna get run over, but alright. Where's this guy got us parking? Look at us. We're going to be parking in the jetway. Yo. Something doesn't look right. I can't put my finger on it yet. But why would he have us park all screwed up? Like we should be in here. Not over here. But I was following what he said, so well, we're here. We're here. Oh, that guy's still alive. Very good. All right. Well, that's about it, my friends. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the flight. Yo, what's up, Hacker? I'm just getting ready to sign off, but I will be back tomorrow for sure. Same time tomorrow. 1 a.m. UTC time, which is 5 hours ahead of my time zone. So I'm in the East Coast of America, but I'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Anybody's got an idea of what they would like to see, hit me in the comments on one of my videos or hit me in the comments of this video, and I'll do my best to get that video up tomorrow night. I do have another Aerofly video in the works that I'm working on currently. That'll be up in a few days, and that's about it, my friends. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday/Sunday morning, whatever it is, where you're living, whatever it is. Hopefully you're enjoying it, and I will see y'all again tomorrow, my friends, on the next episode of the Airplane Show here on the All About Aviation channel. See you, my friends.